I'm a Boston comedian, so you're going to hear my Boston accent here for a while.
I
I'm
love it.
wicked funny if you ask my friends, and I can park the car up there in Boston too. And in addition to being a comedian, I also am a father's rights activist, and I use the comedy to kind of promote the father's rights. To if you've been through the dirty, family court system, you're interested in what I got to say. But the comedy gets people interested in it that otherwise wouldn't be interested because I'm getting you laughing about it, so you want to hear my message. So
Hey, that always sounds interesting and entertaining. So, again, I think I asked you this in the green room, but of course, I want to ask you again. How long have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing it for 14 years. Went at it really hard. I've been very successful at it. Then the pandemic hit and kind of put a crunch on all of us. And I got into making some independent films while that was going on because there were no big crowds going on. So we made a movie about one of my characters from comedy called the Child Support Superhero. You can catch the
Oh,
trailer for the movie on YouTube, and there's a link that'll bring you over to where you can see the full movie over on Vimeo on demand. And it's about the superhero and how he fights the dirty family law battle. There we go. There's the characters you'll see in the movie. Me, the
okay.
child support superhero, my sidekick, Condom Boy, the villain, the crazy psycho bitch, government man, and the judgernaut.
Okay. That sounds like a nice that sounds like a nice production. Of these, besides yourself, the child support superhero, which is your favorite character?
Condom Boy, he gets a lot of laughs. I got during the movie, you kind of listen to where people are going to laugh, and we had the red carpet preview of it, and he got the most laughs. So
Okay, well, welcome to the show. We are excited to get to know you. And we have 21 questions that we are going to definitely pummel you with. And we hope that you can stand the smoke. Now,
I
normally,
can take
I
the
know
heat.
we. You can take the heat. That's good. That's good.
I can
Normally,
take the
we only have one guest, but now we have two on this episode. Second up, we have Phil Page. Hi, Phil. Welcome to the
Hey, hey,
show.
hey, how y'all doing? Hi, everyone.
It is good to see you, sir. And because we're just now meeting you right now, right here, tell us a little bit more about you.
Okay, well, I'm a Washington, D.C. area comic. Been in comedy about 7 years. I've
Oh,
pretty
wow.
much performed all over the East Coast. I also promote comedy shows under my mantra, Let's Get Ready to Funny Productions. Um,
Hey, I
yeah.
love that.
Oh, yeah. It's me and my hat.
I love it. I love you and your hat. I'm looking at it on the screen right now and
Uh-huh.
I'm like, hey, you dressed up for the show. We don't normally get that around here. So
You
I'm
need to go on my
feeling
site
pretty.
and pull my logo then.
Oh, so you want me to go all the way over to your site
No,
and
you don't have
pull
to.
your
You
logo?
don't have to. Let me
Is
just
that what you want me to do? Is that what you think that I should have done?
not really. I mean, do what you do, baby. But like I
I
say,
And actually, the weird part about it is I did pull it, but it didn't make it in the upload because
oh no.
I tried to get you into the upload, so it was hard. So
Okay.
this is what I pulled from your profile, and I want you to tell us about it. How about this one? Comedy shows near me.
Okay, this was a comedy show that I did in Silver Spring, Maryland. It was kind of a comedy show, open mic type show that I did probably 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, yeah, real fun spot. Yeah.
Real fun spot. Okay. I love the promotions because we always need that around here. It's always a really, unique thing to do. So, as I asked him, I'll ask you, what got you started in comedy? Because that's what we talked about in the green room.
Okay, well, basically got me started in comedy. I had some medical problems about 7 years ago, and I
Hmm.
was in the hospital for maybe 3 weeks, and I was laying in my hospital bed contemplating my life and trying to determine what have I contributed and what else did I want to do that I haven't accomplished. And I don't know where the hell comedy came from, but I signed up for a comedy class in my hospital bed, and
Wow.
I've been doing it ever since.
I mean, I know I heard it in the green room, but it's still like, it still blows my mind. Tell me about the best show that you've ever done. Not necessarily the biggest, but the best.
The best shows I've ever done. Um, I think probably the best shows that I've ever done have probably been in small clubs where you get a nice intimate audience with people actually are coming out to see comedy. That's what they're there for, because you do a lot of big clubs where there's a
Hmm.
million things going on and you are just one of the million. So like I do a lot of clubs, I mean a lot of shows in sports bars and stuff like that. And it's really hard to do a comedy show when the Wizards game is on. So
Oh,
yeah.
you're probably correct about that. And being that sports is about to come back on, yeah, it's probably going to be a dark time for comedy at that moment. Well, I am so glad to have you both here on my screen. And while you guys are here, I know I told you in the green room, but I have to tell the people tuning in today, tomorrow, and beyond the rules of the game. Everybody ready?
Ready.
Oh,
Ready.
I'm like, am I talking to myself?
No,
Is
no,
this going to be the hardest show ever?
never.
Okay, so the rules of the game are this: there are 21 questions, and I will ask them to you in three separate rounds. The first round is super duper easy, get to know you questions, nothing too hard. Round number two is a little bit more saucy because I'm nosy, so I have a habit of asking questions. Round number three is the hot tamale round, where I'm liable to ask you anything from politics to your love life, and you only have three times to tell me I don't want to answer it, I can't answer it, I'm not interested, I don't know about it, or any of those other things. And when you get on the third one, I will simply just kick you from the studio and I will move on because we have an event to talk about coming up on September 24th, which is kicking it with comedy in Vegas. And it's going to be one night of fun and one night of mics. So you guys are in the danger zone. Everybody with me so far?
With you.
Okay.
Ready and able.
But I am a great host. Some people would say, depending on which day you ask them and who you ask. So I will give you each a chance to bow out gracefully before the beginning of each round. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, then let's get it started. No need in the specifics. Getting to know you round. This was the easy one that I told you guys about. Nothing hard, mostly all fun. I saw that you were at a Comic-Con convention, Dennis. So this one was for you. One has to go: The Lion King, Spider-Man, or Toy Story. Dennis, which one has to go?
Lion King, gone.
What?
I never seen it, so that was an easy choice.
That's crazy. The Lion King. Oh my
Well,
God.
Spider Man's an icon. You can't get rid of that one. And Toy Story, that was the first movie that me and my son got really, really involved together with. So that's always got a
Uh,
special place in my heart. So for me personally, the Lion King's got to
gotcha. And those are two very good reasons. All right, Phil, your turn. One of these has got to go: Lion King, Toy Story, or Spider Man.
Toy Story. Oh my God. Please.
Why Toy Story?
It's the dumbest movie ever. I'm sitting there looking at, Woody and what's the other guy name? And
I have
it's
no
just
idea.
be.
yeah,
Buzz, for infinity and beyond.
yeah, Infinity. And I mean, it just kept coming back. It wouldn't go away. It was Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2. Now there's a Toy Story in outer space. I mean,
You're
the guy
like,
actually grew up. The toy grew up. Really?
the toy grew up. I get, well, I mean, the toy can grow up. It can grow up. But let's move on.
So if the
Question
toy grew up,
number
what happened
two.
to that kid?
Any fried bologna fans still out there? Phil Page, are you a fried bologna
Hell
fan?
yeah.
Now, do you like it with mustard and mayonnaise or just plain?
Mayonnaise and cheese.
Mayonnaise and cheese. I love it. How about you, Dennis? Are you a fried bologna fan?
I'm fat. I'll eat anything, man. I'll eat whatever you got. Man. I ain't picky. You put
Well,
it on my plate, I'll put it down, man.
in that case, this one's going to be really good. You can choose only one of these to eat for the next 365 days. So a whole year, you can only eat one of these. Which one is it going to be, Dennis?
Going with the corn on the cob.
Nice choice. Okay. How about you, Phil?
What the hell is that in the middle? Is those
Green
greens?
beans.
Oh yeah, I go with the green beans.
The green beans, so no tomatoes, potatoes,
Nah,
none of that. Just
I
the
go
green
with the
beans.
green beans. I got enough problems.
Oh
So
Lord.
I gotta try to stay as healthy as possible.
I love it. Being healthy is a very good idea in this day and age. Now, next question. If I deposited $2,000 right now into your bank account, what would you use it for, Phil?
What would I use it for? I need a vacation.
Where would
I
you
need to take a
go?
trip. Probably to Vegas.
Yes. Because you know what? We could use your funny out here, Phil. So I'm just saying, keep that in mind because $2,000 would get you probably just to Vegas. You'd probably have to pay another 2,000 to get home. But
Hmm.
with the
Yeah.
prices
Big
right
tourist trap. Oh yeah.
now, Dennis, how about you? If I deposited 2,000 now into your bank, what would you use it for?
I would probably use it to finance the second movie coming up, to the one I already did, The World Needs a New Superhero, that I spoke about, and I'd use that money to finance The World Needs a New Superhero Part 2. Because I
I
found out making movies is very, you think comedy's expensive? Yeah, making movies, that's really expensive. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you're on part two of your movie. Is it a cartoon or is it like 3D or
No, it's live action. It's live people like Batman, Superman. I'm the child support superhero.
right on? I love it. I'm going to have to go check that out. All right.
There you go.
Speaking of superheroes, now this is a super fight poster back in 1989. Daniel LaRusso versus Bruce Leroy Green. Who will win the rounds? Who will be the best around? One of them got to win, Dennis. Who's going to win? Who's going to take it?
I gotta go with Daniel LaRusso and the crane, because if you get the crane there, that's unstoppable.
Hey, I think you might be
You
right
don't mess
about
with
that.
Mr. Miyagi's teaching. That's Mr. Miyagi teaches. That's it.
Mr. Miyagi, I wonder whatever happened to him.
He passed away, but
Did
his
he?
legend lives on. Yeah, oh, he did. Yeah.
Okay, was he there for like Karate Kid 2, 3, 5, and 8? I know there
Yeah,
was a
the
lot of
movie,
them.
they got the Cobra Kai series now, where it's all like Daniel LaRusso. He's like the teacher now, and he's got a bunch of young kids. So, but yeah, Mr. Miyagi was in all the movies. Yeah.
Right on. How about you, Phil? Who you think would take it out of these two?
I gotta go with Danny LaRusso. I really do, because I don't know who the hell the other guy is. And I'm like, what is he thinking about calling his name Bruce Leroy? Bruce
You
Lee
don't
Green?
remember? You
Really?
don't remember
Really?
Bruce Leroy? Leroy in the last Dragon? You never seen that movie?
Nah.
Oh man, we got it. Okay, I know what we're doing in the green room next time. I
Wow.
definitely know what we are doing next time. Okay, so I am curious, who is the most famous person you have ever met, Phil?
Um, um, the guy from Martin. I did a show with him. Bruh man from the third floor. I
Oh
forgot what
my God, you met Bruh Man? You
Bruh
actually
man.
met him?
I met him.
Oh my God, how was he as a person? Like,
He was really cool, and he gave me some really great advice. He had actually told me the biggest thing about doing comedy is you don't have to be a comic. You just have to act like one. So
hey.
I'm like, I mean, I can do that.
Absolutely, you can do
Gotta
that.
act like one. And coming from an actor, that sounded pretty cool.
Hey, I like it. How about you, Dennis?
I was a fan of his as a kid. I watched him on Good Times, and I always swore that if I started doing comedy, which I did, I'd book him. I got Jimmy J.J. Walker out here, and I did a local television show called The Comedy Kitchen at the time. So if you go to YouTube and look up The Comedy Kitchen, you can see me and Jimmy J.J. Walker cooking up. I don't remember what we cooked, but we cooked up something. And I'll give you a hint right now, okay? I asked him, "What'd you think of it?" And I'm waiting for him to say dynamite, but he can't say that term anymore because his wife took that term in the divorce. So every time he says it,
Oh,
he has to pay her, and that's why he don't say dynamite anymore. Facts, kid. Know
No,
about Jimmy Walker? Yeah.
facts. We are learning stuff around here. That is awesome. I would not have thought that in a million, gazillion, trillion years. I always wondered why he never said it anymore.
That's
I
why he's
was
gonna pay her. Yeah.
wow.
Oh, wow. Isn't that something? Okay. I'm digging this. All right. We have come to where my kitchen is open. Every time that I have, some newbies on the screen, I like to show off my cooking. And since you said, you were on YouTube with Jimmy JJ Walker cooking, I'd like to offer you up some vittles from my kitchen and see if you will try it or trash it. Now, y'all be nice. Here's my first selection. Are you going to try this or are you going to trash it? And by looks alone, because I'm not sure what it is, Dennis, are you going to give me a sale?
I'll try it, but I'm diabetic. I looked awfully sweet, man. I'll take a bite, but I definitely couldn't finish the whole thing. I'd be like, my
Okay.
sugar levels would be going through the roof. I don't even know what is that. I don't even. It's
I
a
don't know. I can't tell you what it is.
imitation ice cream or fake stuff.
That's my secret ingredients. I can't tell the whole world what it is. How
Well,
about
I'm
you,
fat.
Phil?
I'll take one bite and try it and tell you if it's good or bad. But it don't look like something
Hey,
I eat the whole
I'm gonna
thing of.
try it. I'll try anything once and twice if I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah.
So
Okay. So I got two sales. I got Dennis here to take a bite, and then I got Phil over here who's just gonna try it and hope that he doesn't regret it later. I love it. Phil, how about this breakfast plate? Are you gonna try it or trash it?
from what I see, I may try that.
Right? Right? That
Yeah,
looks good,
yeah,
right?
it
Like,
does. It does.
okay, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Gravy
Dennis,
on it. Yeah, yeah, we can do that.
how
I
about
try it.
you?
Yeah, it looks pretty good actually. I don't
Yeah.
see nothing wrong with it. Looks like a breakfast. Yeah.
Yay! See, all of y'all out there in Sauced in the City land, there is nothing wrong with my cooking. I think all of y'all are just too high on the horse. you, I swear they talk about my cooking all the time, and I'm like, you know what? You guys can all just not eat anything. Here is our last selection: Doritos. Now, Dennis, are you going to try it or trash it?
I like Doritos and I like Cheerios, so why not mix them together? I'll try it. Why not?
I love it. How about you, Phil? Do I get
No,
a
I ain't
sale?
messing with that. I'm good. I'm good. I ain't messing with it. I passed.
I thought you was gonna be with me. I thought you was gonna be on my side.
I don't do Doritos, and let me tell you why. I
Oh,
saw a guy use Doritos to light a fire on the grill. Doritos burn like lighter fluid, and I'm like, I cannot put that in my system.
well, that's like corn. That you burn corn. It's like burning corn.
Well,
No,
my
No?
dad was actually bigger than me, and he'd eat everything in the house. Doritos was the one thing he didn't like, so whenever we had Doritos, I became one of my favorite snacks. See, I get them before my dad did, so that's why I like the Doritos. I could get a hold of them before he ate them.
What do you mean
Oh,
you burn corn? Popcorn?
hey, burnt corn has its place in the world, Phil. Okay. Burnt corn, it's called maize. Okay. Just in case you don't know, it's called maize. And I think
But it was
maize
called
is very
popcorn.
okay. No, burnt popcorn stinks. Have you guys ever smelled that? Like, that is crazy. That's one of them smells you don't ever want to get in your home.
Never
All
get it
right.
out.
So we have ended round number one. That wasn't too hard, was it, fellas?
That
Not at
was
all.
easy.
Okay, yeah, I like when people assume that all of these are easy, but I'm glad that you guys are not feeling threatened. So I will ask, are you down to clown for the next round?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, like I told you guys before, I'm a low key stalker. So when I was going through your profiles, I noticed some things. So I'm going to put some of your pictures up here on the screen. And Dennis, go ahead and tell us about this photo. What was happening here?
Me and William Shatner from Star Trek. I was getting the space. He dug the child sports superheroes at Boston Comic Con, and I got a chuckle out of him. He kind of saw my costume, kind of chuckled, got the picture, and had a nice time.
Okay, Will Shatner, go ahead. I like it. How about this one?
Arthur Fonzarello, the Fonz himself, right there. He gave it the tooth. He gave it the thumbs up. You get an A from the Fonz. The child sports super is a cool character right there. It's another celebrity endorsement.
I love it. How about this one here?
That is the original Lois Lane, Margaret Kidder, and she played Lois Lane in the original Superman with Christopher Reeve. And I got to talk to her a little bit. Sometimes it's a quick thing, and sometimes you get to talk. And she dug the character. She dug what it stood for, fighting for a child's right to both parents equally. So I got her endorsement as well.
Right on. I love it. Tell us a little bit more about your desire to become child support man.
Well, I found, if people are interested in, if they've been through the family court and they know how unfair it is, they're interested in what you got to say. I'm trying to get the people who haven't been through family court, they're not interested in it. I'm trying to get them interested in a comedic way. I created the character, the child support superhero. It was just a joke I did in my comedy routine. And literally 9 out of 10 shows I did, somebody be chasing me down in the parking lot after the show. Wait up, I want to tell you about my story dealing with family law. Yeah, like all of a sudden I became the guy you talk to without even really trying. So the character kind of took on a life of itself. I made a page out of it on Facebook. It's got almost 15,000 followers, and I get so many
Whoa.
people, young kids messaging me like, "I got this situation. What do I do? What do I?" So I became the guy you talk to about, if you're going through a tough time with family law, I became the guy you talk to about it. I offer up advice, which is cool because, I went through the courts before the internet was around. I couldn't Google, hey, is anybody else having this problem? I thought I was alone, so it's good to let these kids know, you're not the only one getting screwed by family law. You're not alone.
Hey, I love it. You know what? Daddies Matter too, which is the platform I created, and you're right. Um,
So you
I
know.
I think I got dropped into a chat and it had like 150,000 people in it. And it wasn't a chat, it was a group, a Facebook group. And
Yeah.
I just saw pages and pages and pages and pages of angry women. And I think another woman had put me in the group because she thought I was going to be angry too, and get right in and do everything. And I got scared for you guys. Like I literally started to fear for fatherhood out there. I
It
was
was
like,
worse on the kids. They got nothing to do with anything, and they pay the biggest price. So that's the
I
sad part.
do. It is very, very sad. So I am so happy that you created child support man
The
because
child support superhero. Awareness is the key. You got to spread awareness. He's spreading awareness.
I definitely
That's
think so. And you know what I think that people or that needs to be done? I think a politician needs to actually run on a fatherhood platform and see how far they can get. Everything else has been run on, every other thing that you can think of has already been run on. I think a politician out there should run on fatherhood and then they should relook at the child support system. Of course, my son is 23, so but look at the child support system and really, try to make something else happen.
make a
Well,
difference. See, I hope to see that day too.
me too. All right, round number two, as I told you guys, would get a little more saucier, and you guys both agreed to put up with my shenanigans. So here we are off to round number two. And these are going to get a little bit more saucier, so you're going to have to hold on to your bucket list and really dig in. So question number one of round number two: if you had to choose, which one would you choose? At A, a 5-minute set at the Improv, B, 30-minute stand-up special for Tubi, or C, 3 major city road trip tour in an RV? Dennis?
5 minutes at the Improv. I mean, the right 5 minutes at a place like that can change your life. So
Oh my God. So have you ever performed at the Improv?
I have not. I've been did the Comedy Store when I was out in L.A. I've done Dangerfields and what else did I do down there in New York? I did Dangerfields. I did the Gotham, and I did Broadway Comedy Club down there. So
Right on. Well, I may
those are the
have to
people you
talk
want
to
watching you.
I may have to talk to you. I might have some for you, Dennis. I might have some for you. All right, Phil. Which one of these would you be taking?
3 major road trips in an RV.
I know. Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh yeah.
That would be
That was
so
a
fun.
close second for me. It did sound fun
Oh
in the
yeah.
RV. It did, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which 3 cities would you want to go to?
Vegas, LA, Chicago.
That's so okay. Wait, now Vegas and LA are pretty close, but Chicago is way over there.
Hey, well, you said what's 3 major cities. You said they had to be located near each other. We're in
Well,
an RV here. We're on a road trip.
right, you're on a road trip, but that's okay because
Not the
I
winter
love
time for
Chicago.
Chicago, but yeah.
I love Chicago. I love LA, and of course, I love my home Vegas. Have you ever performed in any 3 of those places?
No. I've had opportunities to do LA, but the pandemic hit. I have friends in Vegas that do shows, and they've been trying to get me to come out. I haven't made it, and really never got any footage in Chicago.
Ah, well, you too will have to stay tuned to the green room because Sauce in the City has a pretty strong connection over there in Chicago. So just hold on to your hat. Next question. Whose job is it to bring the butts to put in the seats? The promoter, the comedian, or both? Phil?
Both. If you can't promote the show that you on, you shouldn't be on it. I mean, I promote shows and I perform on shows, and you know, you got to do more than just get on stage. You got, because it's a team effort. I mean, granted, the comedian is not obligated to put butts in seats, but if they're coming to see him, he should at least promote the show.
I like your answer. How about you, Dennis? What do you think?
Definitely both, no doubt about it. And I've lived both sides of the coin. I've booked shows in a venue, and I'll drop off flyers and banners to hang outside, and I'll drive by a week later, and they ain't hung up nothing. It's like, that's the support I'm going to get from your venue. Are you kidding me? I mean, then I've booked comics to be on a show, and they won't even promote it on their Facebook page. I mean, something that easy. It's like, you're on a show, you can't even let your friends know you're on it. I mean, it's everybody's job to put butts in the seats, no doubt.
You know what? I think you both make a very good point. Both it is. Next question. Should a comedian that has a supportive fan base be paid more than one that does not? Dennis?
Yeah, putting butts in the seats is what it's all about. I mean, if you're a big draw, then you're bringing in more money. Then, yeah, you definitely deserve to get paid more. That's half the battle.
I love it. How about you, Phil? What say
Exactly, I
you?
agree. Yeah, if you have a bigger fan base and you have more followers, sure. I mean, it's all about how many tickets you can sell. Yeah, definitely. You
Oh,
know,
I like
seats.
it.
Yes,
Seats and
earning
butts
the money.
are what you're going for.
I wish the young comics got that. The young comics still think they're entitled to everything.
Exactly.
You owe me a paid gig, and I ain't gonna bring nobody to do nothing. And that ain't really how it works, kid. No.
Yeah, we need to talk about that because that is a big nightmare in my world. It's like you want to show up and collect a paycheck, then you want me to give you the car and the keys to get here, then you want me to provide you somewhere to stay when you get here, and I don't understand that. I'm like, what? Like what?
I call it the George Carlin syndrome. Some comics think they George Carlin. They don't realize they're a local comic. You don't have to
Exactly.
draw George has. You're a local comic. Do the work, okay?
Oh wow. You know what? I'm liking y'all more and more and more. I'm like, hey now, I think I have like, some people in my corner. Next question. Is being a stripper a valid career path? Dennis,
Whatever pays the bills.
you get out there. What about a stripper, a comedy stripper? What about like strip
That's
and tell jokes? Would you think that would work?
Well, it depends on the venue. Some venues it would, some it might not. I mean, you hit a rough bar, that'll probably bring a lot of people in. I mean, you hit a classy club, you probably won't get booked again. So I mean, know where you're playing and what audience you're playing to.
Okay, I'm digging it. How about you, Phil? What say you? Is being a stripper a valid career path?
Hell yeah, I done put enough of them through college.
I love you. Thank you for your patronage. No, I'm just kidding. Next question. Is this okay? I mean, what are your thoughts? Is this okay with you, Phil? If you walked into a restaurant and you saw this, would you just be okay, or would you have, maybe something to say?
Hell, I gotta eat. Let the baby eat.
Okay, I love it. Let the baby eat. Dennis, how about you?
I say it's America. You got the right to what you do, but I mean, have some. You can throw a blanket over or something or a towel. I mean, have some. Show you got some class. Anything. I mean, I know it's natural and stuff, but it's just some things. You show a little bit of class with. I mean, I think she should go a little more discretion, in my opinion.
In my opinion, I would not just have my boob out either. So I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, she's
but
got the
babies,
right to do it, but I mean, if I was her parent,
absolutely.
I'd say, hey, have some class. I mean,
I'm with you. I am with you. I have a set of my very own, and I would not definitely have them out at the dinner table. And it's not that I don't have a right to do it or that they're not
mm,
mine or the baby doesn't need to eat, but maybe somebody else who's eating, I don't, I want them to keep their appetite. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the
right.
most appetizing thing. How about this? Is this appropriate for a first date? So Dennis should show up and this is what she's got on.
Well, I'm getting the message loud and clear what she's looking for. So I mean, if she's on a first date to get some booty, then I guess that's appropriate. So depends on what her intention is.
Oh my gosh. How about you, Phil? You show up and this is what it is.
Well, let's get something straight here. I'm a lot of things, but classy is not one of them. I'm good. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting the message if she shows up wearing that. I mean, come on.
Phil's like, wait a minute, I'm all in. Like, what is up? Just put it out on the table and feed the baby, and we're all
You
good.
got the wrong idea. Classy is not one I.
I love it. Next question. A cult leader offers you $50,000 to join their cult, and you have to stay for 90 days. Are you in or out, Phil?
I'm out. Mm,
Oh,
I'm
no,
out.
you only got to stay for 90 days.
What I gotta do for those 90 days? Drink the Kool-Aid? I'm out.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that is a good point. How about you, Dennis?
It depends on what the cult is. I mean, what's their cult about? What are they standing for? I don't know. I mean,
But it's only 90 days. You only
yeah,
have
I
to
could go in
stay.
and disagree for 90 days. This guy got to show up. The minute I got to agree. I mean, I could be the pain in the ass cult guy that nobody wants to deal with. I don't know. I mean, 50K is a lot of dough, bro. I mean,
I know that's like a lot of money to say no to. I'm just
yeah.
saying.
Yeah, well.
I think my mind could hold out for 90 days, Dennis. I'm with you. All right. How about this one? Today is Ex Remembrance Day. Drop a short message for your ex. Dennis?
Burn in hell. That's
Okay.
my
Short,
message from the ex. Short and sweet.
short and sweet.
Where she
How about you?
belongs.
How about you, Phil?
I always tell my ex that I'm a killer with kindness.
I
And
love
then I'll
it.
show her the license plate on my truck. Kindness.
Oh, boom, boom, cheek. Look, I was all with you until you said that. Great redirection because I'd have got hit smooth by the car. I'd have got hit because I'd have been like, oh my God, he's been pow. Oh, dang. He didn't really mean it. He didn't mean it. Next question up. If men think with the wrong head, do women talk with the wrong lips? Phil, what do you think?
I don't think as much as men speak with the wrong head. I think women got a little bit more control than we do. So no, y'all
Um,
don't.
a man that actually admits it? What? You guys heard about it first here on Weigh In, y'all, a 21 question conversation on August 15th, 2022. A man finally says it.
Shit, I got
Oh,
kids. I know what happens.
how about you, Dennis? Do you agree, disagree, or do you have your own opinion?
Well, yeah, I think after the girl showing up on the first date with that blouse, I mean, I think she was thinking with her lips there. I mean, either going on a date for a booty call or you're going on a date because you want a relationship. There's no in between. It's one or the other. So I mean, sure, yeah, women can think with their lips just as easy as men can think with their head. No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. I love you guys. All right. Last question on the round two. And of course, I can't see nothing. So I can't even see where it is. Oh, here we go. Oh, always love this one. And this one causes so many fights. One of these players and all of their work has to go. Would it be Magic Johnson, Stephen or Steph Curry, or Michael Jordan? Dennis?
Steph Curry.
What? Okay,
Well,
I'm gonna.
he hasn't had the longevity yet that the other two have had. I mean, he may go on to do just as much as the others, but for right now, the other two are clearly, they ended their careers where Steph's still going. They've done so much more. We don't know what Steph is going to do from here on out. But
Look, I don't know about him. Phil, help me out.
Steph got to go. If you put
What?
him in that category, Steph got to go. His body of work
well,
is not there yet.
right.
If you asking me today, no, Steph got to go.
Oh my God!
You
Not
talking
the
about my
Steph
childhood here.
Curry.
You talking
Yeah, you're
about
talking about two legends there. I
childhood.
mean,
Come on, not Steph Curry. That's he. Look, he's a great dad. Dennis, have you seen the little girl? Like you seen the
that
baby?
counts. That counts. I'll give him that. I mean,
I mean, the little girl is amazing. And Phil, you still gonna turn your back on Steph Curry?
Hell yeah, that wasn't a question.
I'm a
Oh,
Celtics guy. I'll tell you, Jason Tatum. He's got the cutest little kid running around the court and everything. But I mean, Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan are just icons. I mean, how do
Exactly.
it's
oh,
unfair at this point in Steph's career to compare him to him.
you know what? That's okay. It's fine. I love Steph Curry. And if I had to pick, it would definitely be Magic Johnson only because
Oh
I
my God.
I am a Bulls fan and I am in love with Steph Curry's daughter. I think she's the cutest thing and the best thing that ever happened to his career, and he's such a great dad that puts him leagues above the rest. And Michael Jordan is a great dad too, and he lost one. I don't know if Magic the great dad, I'm sure he is. But I know of the other two in the media being great dads, and that puts them way over the mark for me. So, yep, it would definitely have to be Magic Johnson. But I love you, Magic. I love you. I
Hope we
had to
never
make a
speak to
choice.
you again.
Him and Larry saved the league. They wouldn't even be
I
a league
know.
if it wasn't for him and Larry.
I know. And I love Larry Bird too. Like I actually loved him. That was back when basketball was basketball to me. Now it's
Real.
nothing but a bunch of crying babies out there
Yep.
on the court. Like you
And
touch
you
them and
still
they're
got
like,
rid of Magic?
I'm sorry, what?
And you still got rid of Magic? You just stated your point.
Sorry.
There's a bunch of crying babies. That's when basketball was basketball. That's when
Well,
men were men.
actually, Steph Curry is not one. He like takes his bumps and bruises like the big boys. So that's one of the things I admire about him. Like you can break his femur and he'll still get up and play. So like that's what I'm talking about. Go Steph. All
What is
right,
fever?
fellas. Hey, I used the technical term, okay?
All
So,
right.
fellas, we have reached the end of round number 2, and you guys did really good. I'm proud of you.
All right.
So
Wasn't that
now
tough?
my only question is, are you down to clown for the rest of this round?
Oh
I
yeah.
do a podcast called Funny Like a Clown Podcast. So anything to do with a clown, I'm in.
Oh, you know what? I hate clowns. Ooh,
They're
yeah,
scary.
I actually punched a guy at work and broke his nose because it was during Halloween time and he skated up behind me because he was a clown on skates. And he touched me on my shoulder. And when I turned around, it scared the crap out of me. And I punched him in the nose and I literally broke his nose. Whew,
The clown nose or the
sorry.
real nose?
Like, sorry. All right, guys. So now it is time for the hot tamale round. And I'm glad you guys are all relaxed because that was the end of round number 2. And of course, round number 3 is going to be a little vicious. So I am glad that you guys are down to clown for the rest of this round because I just uploaded some new fodder from the news. I've been kind of keeping up on things. So here's our first question for round 3. Post Roe, more Americans want their tubes tied. It isn't easy. So, Dennis, what's your take on this? Do you think they're just acting out, or do you think this is a legitimate argument?
Well, sure. If a girl gets her tubes tied, I mean, she can always change her mind and get them untied. If a guy gets a vasectomy, that's it. He's shooting blanks the rest of his life. There's no going back. So,
Really? I thought you can get vasectomies reversed. That's not a thing?
maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a doctor, but from what I've heard, I don't know. I mean,
You
I would
don't?
think
Okay.
once
I
you cut
like
them, I
it.
don't know. I mean,
Maybe.
it's like tying a knot. You can tie a knot and untie it. If you cut something, then you have a little more problem putting it back together, in my opinion. But I'm not a doctor again.
Well, we'll consult one later on. I have a few friends.
Right.
How about you, Phil? Do you agree with Dennis, disagree with Dennis, or do you have your own
I mean, I agree
opinion?
because um, some of the laws that's taken effect since Roe versus Wade put women in real danger, and also, you're talking about women getting their toes tied. The number of men getting vasectomies has also gone up. So,
Mm.
yeah,
Wow. Okay. I did not know that,
yeah,
but
definitely.
I definitely think that you are right, Phil. I think Roe versus Wade put
That was
women
a good point. Yeah.
at a disadvantage, and I think that anybody that cannot bear children, and this includes the barren and the people who, like me, have hit menopause. One of the best things about menopause is I finally got some hair on my body, so that was pretty cool. I mean, it came on my chin, but I mean, hey, what you gonna do? But I do think that people who can't bear children, they shouldn't have boo to say about this. I really, they shouldn't have boo to say. Next question. Stand-up comedian and actor Teddy Ray dead at 32. So rest in peace,
Poor
Teddy
Teddy.
Ray. But my question to you guys is, do you think the life of a comedian probably contributed to it? Perhaps he died so young. How about you, Phil? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it all depends. The life of a comedian is like the life of any entertainer. You have depends on if you're in that life or you around that life. I mean, you know, there's a
Okay.
lot of drugs, there's a lot of alcohol. It depends on. I don't do any of that, so.
Okay.
But I'm
So
saying, yeah. I mean, it depends on what you're into. I mean,
okay. Well, because I have a lot of friends in comedy, and the comedy life is pretty rough when you're first starting out and you're out there on the road and the life is hard and you're partying and, things come out. I remember the first time I ever saw a comedian snort a line of cocaine, I was like, what are you doing? And where am
mhm.
I at? So okay, how about you, Dennis? Do you
Yeah, I
agree?
think it's been proven. John Belushi, Chris Farley, Sam Kinison. How many young
Mhm.
comedians died before their time? It's a
Yeah,
rough lifestyle,
it's
and
a
you
rough
just
life.
mentioned the reasons why. It's a lot of booze, a lot of drugs, a lot of late nights, a lot of partying, a lot of hours. It's a rough lifestyle, and that stuff's around you. Like, I personally don't do it myself, but when you're around it, it's tough to not be part of the party.
I
And
like
another
the
point, I mean, if you got a gig, which you just did, and they're telling you we got a major gig for you on the other side of the country tomorrow morning, you can't turn that down, and your body won't keep up. You got to turn to something. It's easy to
Mhm.
grab the pills or whatever to keep you going to meet the demand of you. It's a very demanding lifestyle for a comedian.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I just had, I just see a rash of it going on in Las Vegas. I lost one of the comedians that was going to be on my show one year. And I lost him right before the show. Like I had just made the flyer and I looked and I saw that he had died in a car accident at like 3 a.m. in the morning. And so I just thought, wow, I wonder if the life of a comedian is what's taking some of the years from these amazing people. So,
Yeah, I
hmm,
got. I had to do 5 shows in 7 nights, and this is on top of a full-time job. And I'm
Yeah.
from New England. I'm from Massachusetts. I was doing shows in Maine, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Delaware, New Hampshire. I was all over the end of the week. I said, I mean, my ass was dragging. I'm like, if I had to do that every week, you'd have to do something to take something to keep you going. There's no way you can keep up with that demand on your body.
And as comedians, we don't like to say no to shows. I mean,
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. How do you turn it down? It's the opportunity.
well, I definitely can say this. Comedy is the part of entertainment that kept us going during COVID. So I thought maybe COVID would slow y'all down. And then I walked in and I saw people doing comedy in backyards and basements, no mask, sharing the mics. I'm surprised like we all didn't die, really. I was like,
Yeah.
really? All right, next one. Deputy says he doesn't regret taking photos of Kobe Bryant's remains. This is what the Source magazine said about 9 hours ago. Now, my question here, fellas, is should he be ashamed of himself for taking pictures of a dead celebrity and nobody asked him? Dennis, what do you think?
Yeah, that's classless. That's no class. I mean, what if his wife saw that? His kids saw that? I mean, that's not something. You don't do something like that. That's no class.
No class. Phil, do you agree, disagree, or do
I
you have
agree.
your own opinion?
It's in bad taste. Everybody's out for a dollar, but every dollar is not a good dollar.
Yeah.
So it's
No,
it's in bad taste.
bad taste. I thought so too, and I just wanted to make sure that I was correct about that. Next up, Prince Harry no longer wants a relationship with cheater Camilla Parker Bowles. I don't think he holds her in great respect, says royal expert Ingrid Seward. Now, my question here, fellas, is should Prince Harry back the hell up off of his dad and let his dad be happy? Or should he keep up and hold the grudge because she did break up his mom and his dad? Phil?
I mean, at some point, you gotta let it go. I mean, that is his father, and his mother's been dead so long. And I mean, I say just let it go, man. Forgive and forgive, man. Forgiveness is, you know, my thing is that I don't hold grudges. I don't have no heaven or hell to put nobody in. So it's like you do
Oh
what.
my. You do what you do, huh? Okay, okay. How about you, Dennis? Do you agree, disagree?
I agree. Yeah, you got to let bygones be bygones. I mean, what family don't have problems? Every family's got their problems. At the end of the day, you're still family. So you got
Exactly.
to let it go at some point.
Oh, okay, okay. I think you fellas are correct. I think you do have to let it go at some point. How about this? NFL World reacts to the Alvin Kamara news, meaning he's not going to get suspended for any games, even though he was caught doing the bad things to his girlfriend. I believe it was domestic violence. Do you think that they gave him the right punishment or no? Phil?
Do we know the whole story about what happened? I mean, the NFL has gotten kind of crazy lately. So, you know, after the Ray Rice thing, they don't really tolerate abuse. So if he didn't get suspended or anything, it might be more to the story than we know. So I mean, I can't judge on that. I'm not sure.
Okay. I like it. I like it. How about you, Dennis? What say you?
Well, all that stuff's collective bargains. So I mean, even if they wanted to do something, they may not have been able to because of the collective bargaining agreement. So sometimes even you want to push on a guy by the rules, the agreement they made with the Players Association, they can't even if they wanted to. But yeah, nobody's living the guy's life. So I mean, we don't, we weren't there unless you were there. It's tough to judge what happened. And
Okay, okay. I definitely think like the both of you are right, and that's what I was thinking. Definitely. Which was I think everybody should kind of back up off him. Um, and just kind of let the story unfold, and I don't think his game should have to suffer.
Right.
In the meantime, it's a he say she say, no trial, innocent till proven guilty, and all of that cool stuff, I
kind of
think.
like the Deshaun Watson thing too.
Exactly.
You can say about the
Exactly.
same thing about him.
Hmm.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think like people, I think they definitely try to I think they try to enforce their will upon things. And I think they try to make it a big old thing when it really isn't, not yet anyway, right? Like let him have a trial. Um, and if the trial is definitely proven guilty, then his next season can be affected, right? Or maybe or maybe they can move the trial up and give him a more speedy trial. Either one of those might work, right? Like either.
Innocent until proven guilty. That's what they say,
That's
right?
right.
Innocent until
That
proven
is
guilty.
so correct. How about this one? Tom Holland announces social media hiatus for his mental health, says Entertainment Tonight 3 hours ago. My question here, Phil, is do you think like social media is too much sometimes?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And can it get
Social
over?
media is definitely too much sometimes. I mean, because especially with young kids, I mean, you can ruin a kid's life over social media because they're so into it. I mean, a lot of social media has become these kids' role models. And, yeah, it's definitely too much. And when you put in the buzzword mental health, it's like, yeah, you got to be careful what you do.
Okay. Okay. You definitely do have to be careful about social media because definitely people can, I get how I say this. People can definitely push you over the edge. Me myself, I just block them. Like I block all negativity. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. If I have to block you, then blocking you is better than anything else. And I don't know. I guess when you're a celebrity, maybe you can't block them. Dennis, do you agree, disagree, or do you have your own opinion?
Yeah, I kind of, my generation was a little tougher. I have to say that. Yeah, everybody's offended by everything nowadays. I mean, social media is your choice. Okay, if you're gonna go on there, you're gonna expect to take some shit. If you don't expect that, then don't even go on it. I mean, common sense is gonna tell you that. Like you said, there's a block button. Somebody gives me crap. The only way it blows into something if I respond to it, and we keep adding fuel to the fire. You hit the block button, that's the end of it right there. So I mean, I don't know. They're getting to the point after political elections. They got puppy dogs at the colleges now for the kids to pet in case their person they voted for didn't win. I mean, give me a break. It's getting a little ridiculous if you ask me.
I am so with you. Um,
Yeah.
I am just I don't know what people do these days or why they do it, I guess. I'm just like, listen, if people give you crap, just block them. I block the negativity in my life because nobody really needs that because it will push you over the edge and apparently cause you to do weird stuff. So that's not good. So I say you know what? Block them. Don't take your brilliance out of the world. We didn't do anything, and I know it can get overwhelming. However, I think that once you put yourself out there as a star or a public figure, I think you have to, I think you have to take a little bit of it. I think you got to take a little bit of it. I think you have to take just a smidge, right?
So are we talking about just public figures or just that kid out there who's, out on Facebook and stuff and getting bullied and all of this, And I mean, when
Um,
you're a
I
when you're a public figure, you expect it. But when you're just Joe Blow in high school, and you out there chasing, want people to follow you and this, that, and the other, you know. And like I say, this generation is different than our generation, so they take things too serious and too literally.
huh. Well, I think that we're talking about both. And
Hmm.
whenever you put your stuff online, I think one should expect kind of that sort of thing, right? Like I think
Yeah,
you're making yourself a public figure when you put your information out for the world to see. Now, whether one person or two people or five people or whoever sees it, you're still putting yourself on public display. So you
right.
have to be ready for what comes back to you. It's kind of like I'm going to run up and slap you in the face, and I don't want you to do nothing about it because I'm not a boxer. I just slapped you for the heck of it. Rather than I'm a boxer and I punched you in the face and I know you're going to punch me back. Same
Hmm.
difference. If you put yourself out there, you have to be prepared for what comes back. And
It's like
kids,
getting heckled as a comedian. I mean,
there
may
you
not
go.
want it, but you got to be ready for it.
Gotta
There
be
you
ready
go.
for it.
That's
Right.
it.
Isn't being heckled as a comedian kind of the same thing, right? You put yourself out there on stage, roasting competitions. You can't say something bad about somebody and then not expect them to say something back to you, right?
Right,
Like
right.
that totally makes no sense, right? Okay, so I'm just saying, parents, be on alert. Um, if you allow your kids to be on social media and you're allowing them to put things out there, I don't think that you can tell people, what to do. You have to prep your kids for what's going to happen. Next up, Luna Kim Lip walks off stage at, oh wait, Luna's, I think that's the group name. Okay, Luna's Kim Lip walks off the stage at Chicago concert due to interruptions from fans during her speech. Speaking of heckling, right? Next Shark says this 6 hours ago. My question on this is, should she still be paid if she just walked off the stage? What say you, Phil?
Nope, nope.
No.
Depends on
You
how bad the heckling was, but no. I mean, no.
Oh man, no. So she did the whole show.
She did the
And
whole show,
yes, and at
so
the
she didn't
end of
walk off in the middle of the show.
well, the middle was kind of like toward the end, they said. It was like middle end. But she did the whole thing and then she was given the little speech at the middle end and she walks off the stage.
Oh
Should
no,
she
she go and pay her. Go and pay her.
go
She did.
ahead and pay her?
She did what she did. She performed her service as long as she did the whole show.
Okay. Dennis, do you agree, disagree, or do you have your own opinion?
You're a comedian. You got to take the good with the bad. Okay, there's going to be good nights in comedy. There's going to be bad nights in comedy. If you walk off when there's a bad night, you're not going to be getting booked a whole lot more. All right, you need to learn how to handle those situations and get through them. So if I was the booker, yes, I'd pay her, but then I wouldn't book her again. So that'll
Right.
be me.
Hey, now that's
Right.
what I'm talking about right there. Now that's my kind of guy. I'd be like, I'm good to go. I'll pay you just so that I can save myself.
Right.
Um,
But you
the
won't be back.
correct. Like when I have a show tomorrow, I will not be calling you. All right, fellas. Well, you guys have made it through all 21 questions. I'm impressed. Um, that we did it with two of you on the screen. Whew.
All
So
right.
at the end of the episode, when we make it to the end of the 21 questions, we normally play a game because we can't let you get off the screen without playing said game. Are you guys ready for your game as your reward?
Sure.
Ready as
All
I'll ever be.
games, I love it. I love it. Like if I let you get out of here without playing a game, like everybody that I know would be like, what's wrong with you? So right now it is game time. And this is where we play some fun games. And of course, I love to play this one right here with all of my newbies. It is called Sell That Skew. And this is where we will set the clock for 60 seconds and we will ask our gruesome twosome on the screen to become the best salesman ever. They will give you a sales pitch that will be out of this world. And I love this segment because I love to see what we can put on the Sauce in the City shelf. So, Dennis, you are going to be up first. I am going to give you a chance to pick up the first thing to your left. I'm going to set the clock to 60 seconds to sell that skew.
You want to buy this roll of paper towels. I'm going to tell you what, this ain't no ordinary paper towel, okay? This is heavy duty. You can feel the paper towel right there, okay? You can wipe your nose, you can wipe your sweat, you can tear it off, all right? Half sheets, okay? Not like these little, big time big sheets. You get little sheets right here, okay? I could give you this for a reasonable price, okay? A very reasonable price I give you this for. And look at the thickness in this. This ain't like the little tiny roll. You get the big roll of paper towels right here when you buy this roll of paper towels, okay? You get this shipped free to your door from me, $5.99 for this roll of paper towels right here. You hit my website, www.dennisworth.webs.com. $5.99. I'm going to ship this to your door. It's insane.
Hey, I love it. All right, Phil, you are up next. I want you to grab the thing closest to you to your left. The clock is set for you to sell that skew.
I got this hat for you. This is an original. This hat was worn by John Wayne. You know, this hat was a famous. It was in a movie. It was in a movie with John Wayne. Him and his horse wore this. Him and his horse wore this hat. You wouldn't believe it. See, and look at what great shape it is. I've had it in plastic for 20 years. You know, hey, I've been trying to wear it, but a black man in a cowboy hat just don't go. So yeah, so buy this hat. It's amazing. Hey,
Hey, it
this
is
hat was
amazing. Time. Y'all give
Blazing
it up.
Saddles, the black man in a cowboy hat, right there. That's a classic movie
I
of all time.
know. You guys give it up for yourselves. You guys did a really wonderful job in the sales department. I thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode. And of course, this is just to wet your whistle. So much more to come. And I didn't even get a chance to talk about my show on August 24th because you guys were amazing guests and I didn't have to. You guys answered everything. So just to make sure that I ask you 21 questions, I have 3 questions that I keep in my pocket just to make the trolls happy because they will go back and look at this episode and see if I asked you 21 questions. So, Dennis, it is Worth, right? Dennis Worth?
Yes, it is. It's an
Okay, are
old
you
German
ready?
term for an innkeeper, worth.
Worth. A woman's worth. All right, are you ready for your 3 questions?
I'm ready. Hit him, babe.
Number 1, did you have a good time?
I did. Not as good as sex, but one step below, just like I said. Right there.
Hey, you know what? Without actually doing the thing, I'm glad to be one step underneath. That is
There
definitely
you
an
go.
accomplishment.
A good
Number
place to
two,
be.
number 2, have you ever been a part of an interview like it on the internet or anywhere?
I've done a lot of podcasts. I got to say, you're doing something a little different here in different cells. So good for you. Keep it up. Good work.
Now, coming from you, Dennis, with all of the things that you do and have done and will do, I am going to take that as a big compliment.
You got the
And
child support superheroes endorsement right there. See, hey, what else do you want?
yes, this last question answered. I mean, since you asked, how about this? Will you come back and join us for another episode, part 2 of your interview, so we can get a little more nosy?
Sure, I'd love to. I love the questions. They were great. And
Hey,
you're a great host, also.
oh, thank you. I wish we didn't get kicked off of Facebook because that would have been great. But like somewhere in the middle of the show, Facebook damn near locked me out of my account. So
Facebook's another one's getting offended by everything nowadays.
I know. I was like, what did we say? What did we say? There's no music playing. There's nothing going on. What's going? But that's okay because, like I said, we are live on Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, YouTube. So you guys can still go and see your whole episode. So fear not. And thank you so much, Dennis, for coming to hang out with me. I know it's a little late, one, and number two, I know you were a little like, I don't know, but I am so glad you came by. I am so thrilled you
I
came
was
by.
glad to be here. It got too hot for Facebook, not too hot for me. I like it.
Right on. So stay tuned to the green room. Next up, we have Phil Page. Are you ready for your 3 CYOA questions?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Did you have a good time?
I had an amazing time. This was lots and lots of fun. I had no idea what to expect, but I'm glad I did it.
Aw.
I'm not gonna put it right up there with sex, but it was good.
Okay. Well, I know what kind of sex you like, and you like no
Real
class, so I can only imagine what's going on over there. However, question number 2, because you have done Zoom comedy and Zoom open mics, have you ever seen a show like this one on the internet or anywhere?
No, I haven't, and I'm really curious. I have a million questions for you. I would love to know how you did this.
Aw,
What
well,
software you using? I mean, yeah, but maybe later. Yeah.
of course, stay tuned to the green room. That's where
Cool.
all the secrets are divulged.
Okay.
And number 3, and of course, the most important one to me, will you come back for another episode so I can get a little more nosy?
Hell yeah, I got plenty of. Yeah. Okay, let me behave. Yes, I will. I will be more than happy to come back.
I love you guys. I love you guys. And I thank you so much, Phil Page. I know we were supposed to do this on Wednesday, but it was a little technical difficulty. But
Right.
stick with me, kid. And I swear to God, I will get you on the road to recovery. And with that being said, we have come to the end of the episode, and we would like to shout out to our folks over at Roku and UBS and TV. The app is free. See, it even rhymes. UBS and TV, the app is free. So go over there and get that. Shout out to Katash and the gang. We love you. You'll come right to this area right here. And for all of you guys that, smoke the marijuana and need it all on one page, here we are. It's 3 easy steps. Access your Roku device, download the UBS and TV app, search for Sauced in the City, and you will be hurled into my world of comedy. With that being said, this is your girl, Brenda Brown, aka the Chocolate Child, and we are out of here. Catch up with us on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for your next installment of Sauced in the City 9 o'clock magic hour +1 party, where definitely the fun continues on and on and on and on. And this time we have a new segment of the show called My Turn for Comedy. It is a virtual open mic competition, and it will be live on Roku. Each week, a new game and a new winner. Okay, one massive prize. You guys cannot beat that. Or maybe you can, but at least not over here. So make sure that you get with us, because we would love to see you this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because we will be putting Miss Marcus Creekwater to the test. And with that being said, we are out of here. We'll see you later. Love ya.